So hello guys and welcome to 1Tap episode 2. Ito na ang pangalawang beses natin gagawin yung 1Tap. So does that make it 2Tap though? I don't think so.
No.
Isa pang tap, isa pang pitas. Alam mo na, masarap talaga makita yung one shot, one kill. But first things first, my name is Daks.
And my name is Vyminal.
And here are Mr. Vim. We go at it again. So, Vim, may tanong ko sa'yo. Ano ba itong 1Tap na to? Like, parang wala akong naririnig about this. Biglang suddenly, tournament, Valor PH, let's go. What a way to go.
You know, it started out as sort of a joke, an inside joke here in our GC na parang okay, paano kaya magpa-tournament tayo, hindi natin i-announce. Biglaan lang sa Discord, na lang i-announce and then may sasali kaya. Yes. And then dun na buo ang 1Tap episode 1 and now of course, you know, I'd say it was a success and a lot of people enjoyed it. Keeps people on their toes and active sa Discord, ganyan. So ito na tayo sa episode 2 and of course there's 20,000 pesos on the line. Winner takes all. Kaya ang 1Tap kasi isa lang mananalo. Yan.
Are you sure? Parang tatlo dito sa atin yung may pricing. Pero tama naman, 1Tap, 1 champion. And it really goes to show us na 20k for a Discord tournament like this, you already know na kayang-kaya talaga natin. Makita lang na, uy guys, sali kayo tournament ha. Parang sabi ko, Vim, alam mo ba may cast tayo?
Word of mouth.
Yeah, it's like, Vim, did you know we have a cast today, bro?
And tas so, parang sabi ko, talaga?
Talaga. Let's go. It's just like we're going out, but instead we're going to be sitting on down with our mics and we're going to be getting into the action. And I'm glad to say, guys, in all seriousness, we have 16 teams, amazing in their own rights, looking to do battle. At una matchup natin, mukhang battle of the champions already because we got TMT Esports versus Affinity Esports over here. And when you look into this, if I remember correctly, TMT champion of last week's Friday night, and then Affinity was the champion of last week's Friday nights. So now we are gonna see a battle that could not happen last week. It's gonna happen this Wednesday of all things, and it really goes to show na kayang-kaya talaga makipaglaban ng mga champions natin dito para sa ating 20k prize pool.
Yes, sir. So we got a very interesting match here, and of course, ang ating random map pick is Bind.
Ooh, we have Bind left because we do get 2 bans per team since Icebox is now in our rotation. No Sky though, di pa ready ang ating mundo para sa mga flashes. Kailangan ko talaga ilabas yung shades na pag first time natin mag-Skycast, Mr. Vim. But hey, we're going to be something classic. We're going to be getting Bind. And as I said, TMT and Affinity Esports, these 2 teams are already going to be looking to battle. Now, 16 teams come in, single elimination, best of 1 all the way to the grand finals, which is going to be a best of 3. And we all know that these guys are going to be looking to play for it every single time. Here at Valorant PH, we want to just give thanks to everyone tuning on in out of nowhere na may cast tayo, may stream tayo. We also just want to say na tipong, uy, ito guys, tournament tayo, HG tayo, and everyone is just good for it. And of course, don't forget our sponsor, Manila Esports Club.
Maraming salamat sa inyo. And of course, shout out to our viewers. Kita-kita natin ang supporters ng Affinity, ng SVR. We got supporters of TMT. And of course, yung Kadiliman, di mawawala yung mga supporters ng Kadiliman dyan sa chat. And hope you guys have a good time and enjoy the show that we have prepared for you guys.
But Mr. Vim, look at this. There is something new to Valorant. So guys, kung nakita nyo nag 1 GB update ang Valorant nyo, ito lang yun. Ito lang ginawa ng update na to.
It actually looks really, really cool. Like, not gonna lie, I like it.
It's not widescreen anymore, so we're good to go. So here we have our 2 teams looking to battle. If it's going to be the side of Affinity on the defense, it will be TMT on the attack instead. And Mr. Bim, before we get into the picks themselves, I do believe we have a giveaway of sorts in the stream so far.
Oh, may giveaway ba tayo?
Yes, sir.
Looks like yes. Just got confirmation from chat. For a chance to win 500 pesos of Gcash, 3 winners will be chosen at the end of the stream. Of course, kailangan nyo i-like and share yung stream with the team you are supporting. Of course, hashtag 1Tap episodes, hashtag ValorantPH, and hashtag Manila Esports Club. So share nyo yung like and share nyo yung stream with the caption of the team that you're supporting.
Yeah, so
very
it's
very simple.
Diba? Parang tipong I want to support Team Cadiliman, I want to support Team Subversive, I want to support Camira, CTNX, whoever here is. We can still always find out who you're supporting more into this first matchup between TMT as well as Affinity. And we want to see those names, guys. We want to see them light up the shares there because we
Mm.
want to see how much you support your teams as we are going to be getting into the game. At syempre, may 500 pesos Gcash ka pa, alam mo na pwede manalo dito sa Valorant PH. Don't forget, hashtag 1Tap episodes, hashtag Valorant PH, and hashtag Manila Esports Club. At yung Manila Esports Club, guys, these guys,
Mhm.
masasabi ko na lang that they have been trying to push a lot of agendas to really help out the scene, to help out the domestic community. And in all honesty, they also put some pretty cool memes, so you can check out their page at Manila Esports Club on Facebook. But hey, it's time for us to get into the game. And why does that breach have no name there?
It's
Interesting.
yeah. I was actually going to ask you that, but it's been happening. I've been watching a lot of different broadcasts, and it appears to be a bug in Valorant in itself's observer mode. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to have confirmation who is on that breach. But yeah, it's a known bug. It's a known issue. Hopefully, they'll
Yeah.
fix it soon.
I think we should actually look to fix something up. Maybe we should actually go for a remake real quick just to make sure everything is a-okay. And well, we'll find out if we are going to be getting into the game anytime soon. So with someone else still loading, trying to get the VPN on. And I got to ask you, Mr. Vim, is it going to be important to see who starts on the defense first here on Bind or not?
I really believe that, as with most maps here in Valorant, that it does favor who ends on the defending side, right? But again, anything goes with these teams. Sometimes, they are stronger in defense. Sometimes they're stronger in attack, especially taking into consideration kung ano yung agent composition nila. But of course, typically you would want to play a well-rounded team comp. Looks like we are in tactical pause, and we are going to go
I think we're
back
in a
to test
technical
review.
pause,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah, we're gonna be looking to fix something up on their side and make
Yep.
sure everyone has the proper ping for this first game. So don't worry about that.
Yes, sir.
It's actually a very stormy night, Mr. Vim, in all honesty. So
It
guys,
is.
please stay safe. Kasi ang nakita ko parang 3 beses, 4 na beses nag-alarm, yung parang purge alarm yung aking
That
phone.
is very, very scary.
It's kind of scary.
You can actually turn that off. I don't recommend that you do it, but
Hey. I mean, I check it out. It's fine. But I looked into it and I was like, I'm surprised actually that it's signal number 3. So, unang-una guys, fingers crossed, wala sa atin biglang ma-DC or biglang walang kuryente. Hopefully everything is safe and sound. And secondly, it will also be for us to say to you na, mag-ingat kayo. Make sure you guys are ready for what's going to become. If you guys live in the lowlands, make sure that you have everything packed up and anything you need to be fixed. And besides that, well, just enjoy the Valorant action because here at 1Tap, we just want to surprise you with a quick shot of the Valorant PH scene, and we are just happy to bring you here. So it's going to be me and Vim bringing you all the action from dusk till dawn, or in this case, from start to finish till we have a champion. Top 3 going to be in the money. First place with that 12K out of the 20K. And as we said, we are going to be getting into Bind. Now, there were a lot of things going on, and I actually haven't been able to ask you about our rosters, Mr. Vim. And what do you think between TMT and Affinity? Anything you've noticed so far? But it really feels like that it's similar comps between the two.
Yeah, very similar compositions. But let me take a look at the game feed once again, and let's talk a little bit about what they will be selecting. And of course, okay, looks like AFN Sigma will be locking in Cypher over there. So, double intel composition that we're seeing here right now, and double duelist as well. Ang naiiba lang sa walang discrepancy when it comes to roster.
Choose your
So it's really a battle of who's more comfortable on defense, who's more comfortable, utilizing those operators here in Bind. And kung meron silang dadalhin something special in terms of attack protocols here.
It'll be interesting because it really feels like it's going to be a battle of who is able to execute a little better there. And now it seems like everything should be a-okay. And yeah, looking at these names, our Omen is the one refusing to have his name loaded on it. We got Nasmi, Carl, Johan, Josh S for the side of TMT there. In the meantime, Affinity, gonna have Fission, Kelly S, Disrupt, Astro, and Sigma. Now, it's a little hard, no? Now, walang pangalan ang ating isang player. Sana lang makita natin pangalan niya mamaya. Pero kung mag-uumpis na tayo, tayo dito sa bahay na naman at magsisimulan ang unang bakbakan natin sa 1Tap. Lahat ng tao na handa, their pings are all good to go, and let us get into this game. Defense here for Affinity, gonna be the attacking side of TMT, and well, it's time now to get into the action, Mr. Vim. Any kind of antics you expect from this first round, or is it just gonna be straightforward pushing onto a site?
I think typically, as what we see here, pistol rounds go very, very as expectedly. You know, it's going to be a split A push or perhaps a split B push. But it seems like in this case, it's just going to be a straightforward push onto A site. So here for the defense of Affinity, it's going to be a 2-3 split with the Cypher on A this time. So this is pretty interesting because in anticipate na naiiwasan nila yung B site. So we'll see how that works out.
Time for a push. Seems like Affinity looking to hold indeed by the APC. And in the meantime, it's already going to be a brawl. As there we have the Reyna going inside the shower so far. But good shot immediately here from Sigma. He was going to get 2 so far. Affinity starting things off strong. Proper defense. Flawless win. At yun talaga 5-0 survivors there. Affinity holding close and holding strong there on A side.
Napakaganda ng pinakita ng Affinity dun. Really goes to show that having that Cypher really is a huge impact, especially in terms of pistol round. Now they're opting to go for full armor, of course, having the upper hand coming into the post pistol round, 2 of them on Spectres. So wouldn't be surprised at all if this would continue to go on onto the third round for Team Affinity. But we'll see. Tinan natin kung magfa-force buy ang TMT dito. Looks like they aren't. And they're going to be trying to execute dito sa B side going into hookah here.
Oh, Painful so si Kelly S looking to be sneaky yet again. And the Boombot also going that way. But in the meantime, TMT having to deal with all of this. But Carl, he says like, oy, nuksan nila pituan, pasok nga ako dito. At maghintay nga kung meron mga mapipitas gamit ng classic. So it's a full eco round here for the side of TMT. They just decide that they're gonna go absolutely raw and absolutely dry to look for as many kills as possible. But there's the headshot from the Omen. Sigma gonna be able to get a takedown. And Carl sneaky enough against Kelly S. Gonna be able to get that Spectre. But Disrupt gonna get 4 kills in a row. Mukhang yun ang hook control. At si Astro ang huling makakapitas dyan. Affinity showing again why they're so strong on the defense. Good tactics, good holds, and good calls to try and make it a 2-0.
Ang ganda ng ginawa ni Carl dun, being sneaky inside that portal. Perhaps making it into an almost winnable condition. Pero si Disrupt just completely popping off, making good use of that Spectre. And then now, of course, 2 of them, Kelly and Fission, going to be going on that Vandal. Tapos full buy run for TMT as well. Ang ganda ng pinapakita so far na Affinity. I haven't seen them play on a tournament broadcast in a very long time. I haven't spectated them in a very long while, but I do like what I'm seeing from them here. Looks like TMT will be taking things a bit on the slow side as they are leaving the spike over there onto market. So they might be trying to bait a rotate here, Daks, and I think that's what we're seeing.
And Affinity is gonna be responding in kind. They leave one though by the showers. Mukhang intay muna ang Reyna natin dyan. And as you mentioned, now we are seeing the rotations here from the side of Affinity. And TMT looks for the first pick from Josh S on the Fission. So unang pitas pa lang okay na dito para sa TMT. Perfect time to actually go over to A side because this does mean that there are less defenders to even deal with in the first place. And you'd expect that Affinity will hold even tighter and closer here on B. They just have to with only 3 members left. At mukhang sinasabi ng TMT, okay na yung first frag. Sige, pilitin natin the B side. Pag-isipan muna nila kung ano yung papalag nila. Slower play, moving over to B-Long as well, and it might be an upcoming split push here for this game.
I really like what they're doing. They're taking their sweet time. There's still 40 seconds left on the clock. You don't necessarily have to commit first. And they were forced to go on a 2-2 split for the side of Affinity, but Nazmi takes down Disrupt. Looks like a full commitment is in order here.
And Nasmi looking all around. Sigma though with the pickup onto Nasmi in response. At ang Cypher natin, pupunta muna dito. Regroups with everyone else. And here comes the Reyna. Here comes the Raze. And let's go with the push again. Carl though in the meantime looking on around. Owl Drone, very, very sneaky. But it's just out in the open actually. And will get shot up. But apparently survives. Good intel ngayon dahil doon sa dart. Si Josh S palapit na pala. Pero may Boombot sa harapan niya. At tapos siya kay Kelly S. It's such a big tell when your Boombot decides to explode. But here comes Johan right now. Gonna be able to get a shot there. Carl also on the board. 2v1 ngayon. Make that 3v1. At si Johan ang tutulong dyan para mapitas si Sigma. Yung unang pitas talaga ni Josh S ang tumulong doon para sa TMT so they can actually make it happen. And that they did.
Such an early pick at the beginning of the round is just so instrumental. and how the rest of the round will play out, especially if you take it slow after that first pick. Minsan, teams make that hasty decision after you make an opening pick. Parang, tara, opening site, na entry frag na, tara, go na. But if you actually have that restraint and make the slow play, force them to spread out their defenses even thinner, minsan it really works to your advantage, and that's what they did right there. Josh S with another early pick onto Astro here.
Oh, big entries again from Josh S. And Johan doing the same thing this time out to Kelly S. Sheriff pakawak niya sa Tukabi. Doesn't even work out for him. Josh S now with the paint just over to the other side as well. And Omen looking on the run. Tago na dyan. Frenzy though. Kaya kay Sigma, but still the Omen will get that kill instead. At si Johan palapit na palapit dun for Sova. A safer plant here for the side of TMT. And now they only have to deal with one left on the other side. Mukhang kontroladong kontrol talaga ng TMV tong site na to. At si Disrupt pilit magtago dito lang sa market.
Yes, flawless third round turnaround onto the fourth round here. Looks like Disrupt will be forced to perhaps just go for an exit frag and maybe get a gun for himself. Napaka-strong start ng Affinity, pero nakita natin bumawi yung TMT right away in a very, very decisive manner. See if they can sustain their momentum.
Yeah. Yung pinaka nakatulong sa kanila yung ginagawa ni Josh is entry frag not just once but twice, and really doing as much as they can to use that to their advantage. Natsumi though backing on away. There's the shorty exposing the position, and Disrupt. Is he actually gonna go for the save here? I don't think this is a good idea kasi 1,000 na makukuha niya, diba, dito, Mr. Vim? And yeah, I want to see the eco right now. And there you have it, 2-9. Oh, mistakes were made.
Perhaps a bit of an oversight there for the side of Disrupt. Again, in this patch, no, guys, para sa mga nanonood, if you choose to go for the save, you only get 1,000 credits. But if you die, you get the full amount. Isn't that right?
Yes, so wala pa sa stats mo yung death to a spike, so you can still feel secure na. I only died once to the opponent, doesn't matter there, and Disrupt will have to be forced to use the Spectre instead. So yeah, sometimes our teams need a reminder, sometimes our players need a reminder, and sometimes you guys might need a reminder that don't save when you have only a pistol. It is pointless, just go in guns a-blazing and look to go for a takedown or two. Pero ito na naman si Josh S, and this is what you want to play that Raze for, right? Hookah control, cubby control, but the other thing is the Raze also on the other side can do the same.
Yeah, not necessarily have to use the boom bot to clear hookah, as the drone was used from the Sova right there. Recon darts onto site.
And then shock dart can be up on top. Josh is still looking to push forward again. And kanina patasagan nag-uumpisa dito para sa Team TMT. And can they actually just get the dynamite on again? Fisher though, sneaky enough, gets rid of Johan, but unable to get another connection. Sigma though makakasagot dyan. Josh is nasty on the board. Everything collapsing on B site. And suddenly when the dust settles here on Bind, it's 3v1 with Astro looking to play it clutch.
Now, if there's any agent that can pull off a 1v3 clutch, it's gonna be a Rain. Let's see if he can actually make something happen here. But with only 11 HP left, I seriously doubt that will happen. See if you can
11-11, man.
11-11.
Mag-shopping na kayo, guys. Sakto na talaga, perfect date for it. And as you were mentioning, we'll see what he can do. But suddenly, we see him just die in front of us. Mukhang open natin. Makakapitas na naman. TMT taking the lead. And how the tides have turned with how they've been very effective using their buys.
With the full utilities, with the combination of Carl and Josh S just opening the site, with Johan very quick on that refrag as well. Ang ganda kasi, you have so many tools at your disposal. You know, you have that recon, you have that drone, instant info, you can clear hookah straight up, and then of course you have that boom bot from Raze as well, with that zoning potential from paint shells. So first you get the info using Sova's kit, and then you go for the entry with that Raze. And then it's very hard to prevent the snowball, especially Johan here.
Oh, he just decides to go in with the Devar, and Kelly S taps him down, gets that takedown. Didn't want 1-tap, but it still counts. There we go with the Omen, though, getting 2 kills in the meantime. And Josh S hopes on top of the APC here. Mukhang A-control na naman para sa Team TMT dito. Ang Raze natin naghihintay kung may lalapit man dyan. At ayan yung Snowman Vision, just gonna get completely nuclear there. Gets blown up by the Vandal. And suddenly, it's Disrupt all alone again, looking to duel, but he will die to the Omen on the other side. At TMT, heavily in control. Basta nagka-rifle sila, mukhang sila na ang nanalo dito, Mr. Vim.
Josh S just taking so much space on the field, and that's definitely what you want to do if you're a duelist, and he's doing it very, very well at this point. Very even frags across the board so far. But again, the score doesn't lie. It's 2-4, and TMT has won 4 straight rounds, very decisively at that.
TMT is doing a really good job. Dumidiretso lang talaga sila dito, Mr. Vim. They just go in with Josh S and Johan leading the charge, and it has been a pleasure. Now, I like that Affinity has that 5-4-3-1, but they still need to get more kills than that. And we know that this team is very, very crafty. Mahilig talaga sa umikot sa site. Mahilig talaga sila. Parang chase me, come on and catch me, especially when they're on the defense. And this is where their strengths really shine as a team. They're a very, very intellectual team compared to many other teams na tipong kayang-kaya lang mag-bomb rush to victory. And it really feels like if Affinity can use that strategy back to their strength, dun talaga sila makakapalag dito sa TMT.
It's like they're having a lot of trouble just stopping the raw charge of TMT in this case. We're seeing a lot of default plays. Looks like the spike will be pushing from Shower here.
Vision though, Sigma on the board. Josh in the meantime, showstopper there, but Affinity is answering back, and there you have it. When they get in position, when they stack up right, you already know that they can get that skills. And again, pag naka-firing squad formation talaga tong Affinity na to, they look nigh unstoppable in holding a site properly.
Looks like TMT will have to be a bit more crafty and try to adapt here in this case, unless momentum swings to the favor of Affinity.
But still, economy gonna be pretty okay for both sides. And Nasty with 9,000 credits on the board, you already know he can buy whatever he wants and still have some left over for Christmas. At yun, palapit na ng palapit na ang Christmas, guys. So how is your Christmas shopping? And if you want to have a little bit of a boost there, join our giveaway. 500 pesos Gcash lang yan. Dito sa hashtags down below. Check nyo na lang yung pinned comment kasi pwede ka manalo dito. Tatlo ang manalo sa buong stream natin. Pero mukhang panalo si Kelly S sa bakbakan kay Carl. Disrupt also getting killed there, but it's Johan now answering back. High ground though for our Reyna. There we go with the spray vision, getting a good camera angle there, but it isn't going to be enough to go for a takedown. Astro now backing on the way. Sigma with a pickup as well. And there's the hold. There's the headshot. 2 in a row para sa ating Cypher. At bigla na naman, tide's really turning back in favor of the defense.
Yep, definitely a huge mad advantage now in favor of Affinity. Johan going to be left to his own devices. Looks like he might... Okay, he's not going to be able to go for that spike plant. Astro taking him down, securing the round 4-4 now. Very, very close match at this point in time. Ult economy going to be pretty much even across the board as of this time.
Yeah, all tied up, and there you go. Affinity playing back to their strengths, playing back to the proper rotations, and getting 2 rounds back, breaking the streak of TMT. At yun talaga TMT ngayon, nahihirapan sa maka-entry kasi nasasagot bigla lang ang mga duelist nila, and we'll see if they can adjust in kind. Now, interesting enough, kita natin sa Obzen natin, may bago ng boxes, yung mga abilities and the rifles, right? And the guns that you have. And it does make it a lot easier to see what your teammates have when you're playing.
It's like Disrupt is going to get an early pick onto Johan here. Fission getting sufficient information to secure that hookah. Kelly S takes down Josh S. Wow, Kelly S versus Josh S. I like it.
the S names are there, but there's the no-name Omen just doing it all he can and more. Mukha talaga. Ito sa TFT, you don't need to know who this Mr. Man is because he is just up on top with the top frag formation. But Vision is just gonna be there to keep an eye out. Astro also on the board, and Affinity again playing it so smart. Nahanap nila kung saan yung spike. They just put someone there to watch over it, and suddenly the Omen was dead. TMT though, they have really put up a good fight again. They showed us what their mechanical skill is all about. And we'll see now if they can actually outduel the opposition. Kasi we are seeing Kelly S and Sigma really pop off so far.
Yeah, Sigma has been absolutely instrumental in their defensive efforts, basically being able to lock down site all by himself. Pero kanina nakita natin Josh S and of course si Johan, they were just popping off, leading the charge, making an entry onto site. The thing is, it doesn't really take much to disable someone who's being very, very overzealous onto opening a site. All you have to do is double up on that certain lane and of course get that early info, perhaps early aggression, and once he shut down those main anti-fraggers, mahirapan talaga yung rest of TMT to secure the round. So here looks like they're going for a B split Daks.
They are going to be looking to try and answer that though on the side of Affinity. And yun na nga yung Aldron, pupunta lang sa harap dyan sa may garden, and it's just not going to be enough to see anyone in the first place. Josh's though, and their Sova stacking onto the hookah there. 3-2 split push. Going to be moving over to B side. At mga Affinity still not going to be looking to go all in here on the defense. 2 still on A side. At si Josh's naghihintay ng paraan para makipitas. There we go though, with the Lear being thrown out. Looking to anticipate the push. Boom bot. But Carl catching out Kelly S to start things off. At umpisa pa lang, pitas na kagad ang raise dyan. Good pick off for the Sniper as well. And here comes the Hunted Fury though from Fitch. And he's looking to line it up. I believe he actually tagged down the Omen there, but someone is creeping. Someone is crawling. Nasty though gonna fall on down. Fishing with that pick off there. Carl gonna be on the high ground. At biglang si Johan at si Josh talaga ang makakahulit eh. Ito na ang TMT. Tying it up again. And what a close game we have between our two weekly champions so far.
Ganda ng positioning na ginawa doon ng Affinity despite losing that round. Arguably, if Kelly S was able to survive that initial push, may ipit yung TMT dun sa B-side kasi dalawa sila sa elbow. So, I understand the rationale of what they try to do. Unfortunately, Kelly S definitely has to stay alive over there onto backside or CT entrance. But let's see if they can just basically do it all over again.
Yeah, we'll see. Because there we go immediately with the blind. But Kelly S looking to hold. Aggressive play now from Affinity. And they're doing it here. Fish is going to be able to get through so far. But Johan will answer back. And ito talaga the push and pull of the Tides of Valorant. Minsan yung attack nag-defend. Minsan yung defense nag-attack. At ngayon, si Johan sabi niya, it's my time to shine. Empress's pop gets the headshot there off the Astro. Looking to push a little bit more. Uses the ARC for a quick little dismiss. Pero mukhang 3v3 muna dito. A bit of a reset for both sides. But that Cypher of Sigma is looking to go for the backstab here.
Yeah, it's going for that lurk. This could prove to be very fruitful on his side. And sobrang gamble talaga yun eh, as Johan takes down Kelly S over here, B long. Sobrang gamble to go for that early aggression at the beginning of the round. Sometimes it does pay off though.
And we'll see if this is going to be paying off indeed. 3v2. Make that TMT finishing up the round immediately. Sabi ni Johan, guys, I was just trying to set up for my kill streak and suddenly everyone is already dead. 6-5 though, really proving how close this can be. And look at this, Affinity still going to have enough money to buy some guns for this last round.
Yeah, looks like economy is going to be okay. And Josh S going to be going for that operator. See if he can actually make some plays here. Double operator? Is that going to be a thing?
Is it going to be time to bring it out again? Pero hindi, mukhang isang op lang para kay Carl. And no, never mind. Josh S will actually go for it. Twin operators. A big gamble play here from the side of TMT. At gusto nila may surprise factor dito. Matakot kasi may op, pero biglang may phantom ng katabi mo. At si Disrupt ang unang mapipitas dyan sa may B short. Pero habang ngayon, Kelly is backing on away. Affinity realizing where the strength lies. And they are just going to be going for the rotation. Now, will TMT know this is coming, or will it actually fall into the hands of Affinity as the B split is looking to happen?
Yeah, Sova going to be sitting comfortably over there on hookah, although it's going to be a B split, it seems. Looks like an A fake is causing them to rotate.
Oh, they can't decide, Mr. Vim. Yun talaga yun. Sometimes you want pancakes, sometimes you want waffles, even though they're the same thing. But at the same time, you know, it is a very, very difficult choice. And I want to ask you kung pancakes or waffles ka nga muna. Pero ito nga yan, Christian and Carl gonna be able to get one kill apiece. They are looking to go for the push yet again. Sigma in the meantime trying to make it over. And Carl right now planting this one down. 3 versus 3 though for TMT. Getting the post plant that they want. And it's time for them to set up. It's Sigma creeping closer and closer to the elbow, but deciding to back on away first.
Now, Sigma getting that first kill onto this retake could be very instrumental to securing the round, as he does have that neural theft online. Although Josh has, though.
Oh my god, the operator singing there. Carlos on the board, and that's now Sigma versus 2. Carl trying to go for the darts here, and now yung pa rin bumabantay at si Josh as a mga kapitas dyan. TMT will celebrate with a bang and the lightning 7-5 to wrap up the first half there. But what a close one it has been so far here in 1Tap.
A close one indeed, Mr. Daks. 7-5, and of course, pabor sa TMT ngayon kasi they're going to be on defense and starting off strong with the 7 points on attack here in a map like Bind. Diba? Sobrang ganda nun for your team, and let's see if they can sustain that momentum or if Affinity can do something crafty with their attacks.
Oh, keep it up though. Let's see if TMT can actually keep up on their momentum with the defense. 3 win streaks sila kanina bago matapos yung half. At tingnan natin kung kaya nga nila ituloy dito dahil dun sa pistol round na mangyayari ngayon. It really feels like when you win that first round, you can easily win that second round and suddenly the tempo can shift back in your favor. Can Affinity take this to go for the 2 in a row to tie things up, or will we see the side of TMT just stack that lead more, as it is a heavy stack here from Affinity, all of them by the fountain, and I believe at least 2 of them spotted out by that dart.
Yeah, Fission gonna be taking out Carl very, very quickly. It looks like they're all gonna be pushing through B long, and that leaves you with a small problem of Hookah being open there. Josh S, nakapita siya ng dalawa. Kasi, no one went through Hookah at that point in time.
Yeah, sometimes when you don't clear one side, one angle, someone is just waiting there. At buti na lang, andun nga si Josh as far as the TMT, but Affinity not gonna be happy about that one since suddenly it's 3v3 again. Nasmi though, behind the smoke. Nasa dark cover lang siya, nag-iingay ang ating Omens nasa itaas. Pero mukhang mag-peek na tayo dito. Container with the Omen there, but still gonna kill out Nasmi. Disrupt also with the takedown onto 2. And there you go, Affinity needing that one to try and tie things up. And that's what they will get.
Yep, very good attack effort there from Affinity. It was a valiant effort from Josh S, but unfortunately not enough to secure the round. Looks like full commit na dito ang Affinity with 4 of them going to be on Spectre buys here. Of course, full save ang makikita natin for the side of TMT.
Yeah, TMT, they're pretty responsible at these saves. They are gonna go for a bit of a pistol right now with the Frenzy and the Shorty. But besides that, mukhang sinesecure talaga ng Affinity ngayon na round na to. Alam nila na kailangan nila tie up ng score na to para lang hindi biglang magulat sila sa economy if ever may gawin dito ang TMT. And at the same time, give them back that confidence that they can actually take this game. But Painshells gonna get traded, and there you go, just bouncing on back. And this does force Affinity to slowly but surely look to make this A-push work, as Nasmi is hiding behind the double box so far, and the camera gonna get broken, and the Spectres are coming on through, and there we go, it's the shock there to connect out to Johan Kelly, yes, and Disrupt also getting those kills. 5v2 suddenly, ito na si Astrid, nasa side lang siya, at pababara niya si Carl eventually. Now all alone ang ating Raze. Josh S, he's been making entries, but right now, he is the only one left. There we go with the headshots, there we go with the wall bang, and Vision will get that final kill to tie things up for Affinity.
Flawless victory from Affinity right there. They just wanted to make real quick work of that post pistol round. But now we'll be seeing Nazmi and the rest of TMT with full rifles. So dito natin makita. I mean, they also had a very slow start coming into round 1 and 2 of this game. So it seems that perhaps on the pistol rounds, TMT is having a bit of trouble versus Affinity, but talaga nag-shift yung momentum when they were able to get on those full buys. So let's see if that is going to remain true for the second half here.
But I'm just gotta say that this game is really showing us how close these two guys can be, these two teams can be. Nakita talaga pag nanalo ka ng weekly tournament, meron ka talagang medyo may pagka-pedigree ka in a way na hindi ka a team na you just sleep on, you have to take notice. And the fact that TMT and Affinity are doing this to each other is already very, very noticeable. It really goes to show our big pool of talent getting better and better every single week, every single day. And we're happy to bring it here sa 1Tap. Pero mukhang si Josh S, not happy about that cubby position. Back off muna siya dito sa may B-site na lang.
Yeah, it's gonna be really tricky to be in that cubby position because you're easily gonna get scouted out by that. So perhaps a camera here and there. So it's best to perhaps stay over there at backside. Josh S gonna be flying into the side, gets taken out though.
Oh, the lineup, he just goes for the vertical line there, and he says, you have to be this tall to pass, but right now it's only 2v2. Have you ever gone to an amusement park, Mr. Vim, tas sabi sa'yo, you're a little too short to actually go on this ride, and it has
actually, it was actually pretty frustrating when I was a kid. Yeah. So I can relate to that, but I can also relate to mispressing that satchel charge on that raise, and it's just really, really annoying when your momentum, your velocity just gets stopped dead on its tracks, and that's what happened on Nasmi though.
There we have it. Affinity getting the picks that they need. 2v1 suddenly. And here we go with Astro, but he misses all the shots. And the Omen is still alive. Sigma now all alone, but he still loses it. And Affinity, sometimes you just gotta go back to the lab, say it's time for Spider Shot, it's time to go for the quick reflexes, because the 8 HP and the dream there for TMT, that was honestly more of a round that Affinity lost rather than TMT winning, no?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally have to agree with you there, because It's just again,
You had it, diba?
you had it already. But I think it started off when Kelly just really missed that satchel charge. Sayang yun eh. That was a free kill for Josh S. And that really changed the tide. -1 na kayo agad at the beginning of the match. Sayang.
But hey, Affinity, they can't really beat themselves too much about that because with their Spectres, they were able to actually get so many players of the side of TMT. And now they do have the gun advantage because it's their time to buy for this fourth round, the second half. But Sigma, with the first pick off in Affinity, they're just shaking it off. Sabi na, guys, wala kayo nakita. It never happened. Don't worry. This is our time. This is our round. And we'll see if Kelly S can get the proper jump this time. But Carl will do it again. You have to be distal to right talaga. And this is just saying, di ka pwede pumasok dito for Disrupt and to get that kill. Carl with the Ares, but he will fall to the hand of Astro after killing out Disrupt. But suddenly, here we go again, 3v1 pero yung Omen naman yung natitira. And I've seen this story before, Mr. Vim. I've seen it happen.
See if he can actually clutches out this time. Does get one.
Oh, he's doing it again. First pick off goes for the fake. Vision though does get a peek and this time secures the shot. Affinity says, guys, don't forget pro team tayo. Please, your shots. And that they do. This time they execute well. And they really use the fact that they had that better gun advantage for this round because of what they did last round, right?
Indeed. And for this round, it looks like TMT will be going on that save because their economy is pretty much broken right now, and they're going to have to go for. Johan's going to be going on that Stinger half armor. So AFN will do their best to secure this round and sustain their momentum coming into this one.
Yeah, we'll find out though.
Pag no-name naka-deagle, diba? Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. This no-name Omen, I really feel like di lang natin nakita dun sa lobby. And I'd love to see maybe if the scoreboard will flip that later on to just show us who this mystery man is for now. But Vision with the Hunter's Fury, look at that. Affinity though, all dodging the electricity behind them. Big thrust from the team. You want to see that from them. And immediately, our Omen with 20 HP and the dream to look for a 1-tap here and now. But Sigma planting the spike down by the APC. Mukhang high ground muna dito. But Josh S actually played the long range frenzy. Now, I don't recommend this, but hey, let's see if he can make it work. Kelly S though in the meantime, malapitan. Ito na yung showstopper. This might be huge. Gets a big tip off there, but Vision is still going ham. But Johan now with the Stinger in behind. We'll see if the Reyna can survive. Not gonna happen. 2v1, and Affinity will be able to win that round. Pero mukhang TMT naman.
That was very costly. Yeah, that was very costly for them. Despite having such a huge gun advantage going into that round, TMT was able to make it a very costly round. So, definitely not a bad round for TMT. Still anybody's game, 9-8 scoreline right now. And even if you can see the timeline, the performance timeline over there on the scoreboard, talaga seesaw battle for this one.
Yeah, yun talaga yan eh. Parehong nag-champion na sa weekly, parehong gusto magpaglaban, at pareho sila gusto magpakita sa atin kung sino man ang move on sa round number 2. So guys, this is just the start of 1Tap episode 2 ha. So second season, second setup, and second time we're doing this, and we're happy to bring you all the action. Pero umpisa pa lang, ganito na ang bakbakan. What else will we get from the further matches? We're getting some results of round number 2, but we'll talk about that later on kasi baka nag-set up ng ating mga teams dito. So this time, someone B, someone A, Affinity, trying to poke and peek here onto the two sides. But Johan with the pickoff onto Sigma already here, Vim.
Yep, very early pick. Always favorable on the side that does get that early pick onto the opening of the round. Looks like the spike will be rotating onto A short here. Man advantage now in favor of the defending side.
Yeah, for now though, we'll see if Disrupt can actually look for an opportunity here. Josh as though up top of the box, and Kelly S cannot respond in kind. Now, Kelly S, a very, very sneaky player. Pero syempre, pag duel na ganyan, alam mo si Josh S ang pwede pumitas. We've seen him do the impacts before, and we see him do it again. Suddenly, 5v2. TMT to spraying it down inside the smokes, and this should allow Vision to get the plant at the very least. Pero habang ngayon, palapit na ang TMT dito, at mukhang lead nila. They're just gonna clean it up here on Disrupt, aren't they?
Yep, looks like Carl will be taking out Disrupt, bringing the scoreline to 9-9. Team Ace for TMT. Still a neck-and-neck battle at this point in time, with no clear winner on the horizon just yet. It's just ult economy going to be pretty much identical, except for the fact that Showstopper is going to be online for the side of AFN here.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, Team Ace, something you don't see too often. And that really just goes to show there are no weaknesses here right now for TMT's defense when you try to go for that split push, when you try to go for the poke and peek push. Now, this will give Affinity a big idea to not do that again. Just if TMT has their numbers in the duels, you gotta be a lot more careful and you gotta go for the stacks to actually win it out. Numbers advantage ngayon para sa Affinity. Moving over to B side. B split ngayon. At ito na yung dalawang race natin. Nagbababa ng paint shells. At si Kelly S. May kita niyo yung race dyan. Pero biglang sa stop ang bubol sa harapan niya. 8 HP though for Affinity's Raze. And we'll see how long he can survive.
Yep, Carl, as you say that, Carl just takes down Kelly S almost immediately. Fission, though, getting a 2K. It's like now in favor of AFN, heavily in favor. 4v2 situation.
They're really positioning themselves on the site right now. But look, this TMT looking for the backstab with the Omen. Pero si Astro, may konting idea siya na parang kulang nasa harapan nila. At si Nasmi ngayon ay mabubuking. 4v1 suddenly, and this time, it's time to see an Omen save. That Phantom will be a great gun for another round. Not for this one. 47 armor pa siya. So it is going to be a full kit no matter what if he decides to just not fight. But sometimes, you just want to go for the brawl na Mr. Vim. And we want to see what this Omen can do. Pero pansin natin dito, diba? Affinity with these really good stacks. And oh my god, here we go again. We've seen this before. So let's scratch the ID real quick and let's see what he can do. Omen deciding to back on away. So yeah, Affinity having really good stacks in terms of side pushes, aren't they, Mr. Vim?
Yeah, they've been pretty strong on the attack phase as opposed to their defensive efforts. Napakaganda pinapakita na lang dito. Just basically, strong manning these lanes coming onto split pushes onto sites. And they've been winning their duels. And that is very, very instrumental to pretty much success on attack.
That's true. That's true. At pinaka-pansin ko rin talaga dito sa Affinity, their teamwork is something that really allows them to do great. Kanina nung defense nila, when they have that firing squad formation, they just look nigh unstoppable on that certain site. And this time, their stack pushes are being a really good answer to whatever TMT wants to do. Now, I want to see from TMT, alam nila kayang-kaya nila mag-entry, and it feels like that has to be the answer. Josh has tried it kanina with only 8 HP to his opponent left. So this might be where TMT can try to do it again, but for now, they're hanging on back, triple stacking on B side, and the Hunter's Furies are across. Who's gonna be the first Sova to die? It's gonna be Fission taking too much electricity there. And ito na yung raise natin for si Kelly S. Papasabugin si Johan. Habang si Johan may headshot shot there. Astro though also on the board. Affinity now looking to make this a quick push in the 3v3 situation.
Now will be a good time for that Empress to be popped off, but it seems like he'll be saving it for a rainy day here. Looks like Astro will get taken down by Josh S. there.
And Josh S still looking on the round in the first place. Nasmi in the meantime, camera work in hand. What do you think about this rotation here? Is this going to be the right call here for Affinity?
I think at that point in time, it doesn't really matter because the rest of TMT will be able to rotate in time. As soon as that spike goes down, they're already there and still going to be a 3v2.
3v2 indeed.
I don't think it would have changed whether or not they were if they went for that full commit onto B side.
Josh S though, he's gonna be able to catch out Sigma in the first place. So this time it's gonna be our Omen looking to commit here, but Disrupt gonna get caught out, and TMT tying it up again, 10-10. And what is the story that is never ending here, Vim?
It's just alternate wins round after round, and both of these teams relying on their ultimates to secure an opening kill. It just so happened that Carl was able to get a pick off Fission during that Hunter's Fury battle that we saw over at B-side.
It really goes to show sometimes whoever gets the cast a little bit first will be able to get that takedown. Small little millisecond difference, allowing Carl to at least get that kill, give the advantage. And a good try from Fission, and he's doing a great job at it. 18 kills para sa ating Sova dun sa side ng Affinity. 14 naman para kay Carl. So kitang-kita talaga sobrang tabla ang mga scoreline natin dito. Pero pansinin natin ngayon, 3 ultimates versus 2. Showstopper difference right now for the side of TMC. But Neurotef going to be available as well on their side, with the Empress available for Astro here on the tap.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be night time for Astro to try and get a snowball right here. Pero are we going to see a showstopper difference for the defense? Looks like they are playing it a bit slow once again. Perhaps both sides playing for picks here. Pero napakaganda ng ginagawa ng TMT on their defense. They're just, look at that, triple stacking B backside there.
Parang
Pretty
tama
smart
talaga yung
decision.
ginagawa nila.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's they understand how the B push works here from the side of Affinity, and they're really doing a good job to make sure that Affinity cannot securely go for the push. Itong fact na ganito, standstill, stalemate tayo sa sobrang close na matchup. Nirespeto ng Affinity. Hindi hinahanap nila talaga kung saan manggagaling dito ang TMT. So there we go with from the shadows, trying to get a bit more intel there for the side of TMT. Disrupt might be doing the same old thing into the CT spawn, and now the Omen's gonna meet there, but Nasmi is the one beating 3 so far. But suddenly, there we have it. Initial pickup from the Omen all the way to the spawn side. Kelly is also on the board. Johan in the meantime playing around the market, but Astro still around and has popped the Empress. Fishing though with that pickoff, 3v3 ngayon. At mukhang si Astro mapapahintay dito sa triple box for si Johan. Mahuli na si Fission. Si Josh is makakasagot rin. At ayun na talaga para sa TFT para tapusin ang round na to. Everything just happening off the scam and just happening in so many places that Affinity did not expect.
It's just that sort of awkward stalemate you end up with, no? Pag throughout the entire round, you're just trying to play for picks, pero wala nagpipeak sa defending side. And then, you sort of explode at the last 20 or 30 seconds of the round. But then no one really forced to rotate, right? So ang nangyayari, handa pa rin yung defensive team dun sa blocking nila to stop that sort of burst of push coming onto A side. And napaganda ng trade sa nangyari dun. Josh S securing that multi-kill without letting go of his showstopper just yet. So this could be very, very well for the momentum of TMT.
Yeah, saving those ultimates gonna be absolutely huge, and here comes the push now from side Affinity. Last chance to go for a save round, because if they lose this, it's match point now for TMT. Pagel still gonna get thrown on the way. Here comes the race flying on in, but Johan's the holding line. Carlos up there, sneaking inside, gonna be able to wrap it up at crossfire lang ang kailangan dito ng TMT para manalo. 12-10, match point na para sa TMT.
Match point.
Yep. TMT looking real strong here with the 3 ultimates on the board, and we've been seeing Kelly S try to open up the site using those satchels, but to no avail. Do believe that was those were multiple attempts that didn't really prove to be very fruitful. But here, I wouldn't be surprised if they use all 3 ultimates to try and secure the match.
No prisoners.
Find out if this is gonna be the way to go. They have to just really draw things out here for the side of Affinity. If they avoid these ults, if they get away from the Empress, from the Showstopper, and make sure that there are no corpses to be used by the Cypher, di pwede talaga sila maka-counterplay ngayon. Pero habang ito na ang makikita natin, Affinity deciding to really go for the push here with the Owl Drone to start things off, to disrupt, securing the Garden. At slow and steady might be a fake push here actually from the side of Affinity.
Yeah, I think they have to switch it up here. Yung diretsuhan nilang push na split push hindi na gumagana at this point in time. Pero kailangan lang mag-ingat kasi si Josh S is gonna be on that operator. So kailangan nila mag-ingat kung magpipeak sila onto A side. Although Fission does get an opening kill onto Johan, they could play this out, this bad advantage, and perhaps force a rotate onto Josh S.
He just swung that mouse through the screen and he got that takedown there. Beautiful headshot to wrap things up. At ito na Affinity, they needed that one para lang mas-secure ang push nila. They're stacking up onto B-Long this time. And compared to before, no one's gonna be able to play that hookah kasi napitas na nila kung sino man ang nag-iintay dun. So now, 34 seconds left. It feels like this is gonna be jumping the gun. And look at the start things off. There's the leer to actually go for the initiation. And Astro now with the leer on the elbow as well. Fishing with the first pick off there. And then already in this push, Carl in the meantime, Astro back. Beautiful dart there. Nasby also on the board. At ang double intel natin talagang sumasagot. Now it's gonna be 1v2. Can this actually become a kill here for Nasby? He's looking for the shot. He's looking for the pickoff. 12 seconds na para kay Fission versus Nasby. Ang mag-clutch ngayon. At mukha talaga pag alam ng TMT kung saan magagaling ang kalaban nila, panalong-panalo sila. Affinity unable to even up the last few rounds. And there you go, TMT with a 13-10 win.
I mean, that was just an absolutely decisive victory for the team of TMT. It's just, grabe talaga yung double interplay na yun, no? Look at that. Fission, top the scoreboard. Napakaganda ng performance ni Fission, although, not enough to secure the victory for Affinity. Very well played from both teams, but in the end, even though you're smoked off sa elbow, pero pag lumabas yung recon pag lumabas yung camera, you can see through the smoke and basically gun everyone down using that Phantom with that spray transfer ability from that weapon. It's just an absolutely beautiful play coming in from Carl and Nasmi right there to finish off the match.
It's just so hard sometimes. One pulse of the dart is all it takes, right, Vim? Isang pulse
Yeah.
lang talaga. Kahit mabaril mo pa yung dart na yan, kahit mabaril mo pa yung recon bolt na yan, it doesn't matter because you're already seen. And once you're seen, you're already dead. The smokes did not help out whatsoever there. And it was such a good round already for Affinity. They got the initial pick off. They had a really good push. For suddenly, I couldn't see, but my opponent could. And there you go. That was just the difference there. Eventually, TMT winning out that long, drawn out battle. But it really goes to show. Now, it really took only one big play from TMT to even up to basically turn the odds in their favor because it was just so even between the two teams. Wala talaga sana nagpapatalo no matter what, and it's so respectable to see what TMT and Affinity were able to draw out from each other.
Again, it's so cool to see these teams and sort of their narrative build up over time as we see them time and time again competing in our local tournament circuit. And Affinity, very, very impressive stuff. Nabanggit na pinakita nila against, of course, one of our top teams here in the local scene at TMT. But eventually, TMT will be taking that one. And very well played to both of our teams.
Yes, sir. And I'm looking into the bracket right now. Mukhang TMT, they will be moving on to face off against a quick little refresh there, Invictus Esports instead. So mukhang round number 2, maraming pwedeng mangyari. We have actually seen Camira move on. You guys saw the results actually show up nung nagigame tayo. At meron tayong matchup na ready na Subversive and CT next. And I do believe that we also have Kadiliman versus DFT Revitalized there, ready and raring to go. But guys, it really feels like that this tournament is only heating on up and getting better and better. And don't forget, meron tayong giveaway pa rin sa ating stream. Like and share the post. Use the hashtags, hashtag 1Tap episodes, hashtag VPH, at hashtag Manila Esports Club para makasali 3 winners of 500 pesos Gcash throughout the stream. Alam mo na, saan ka pa manalo kundi dito sa VPH. But for that being said, it's time for us to take our first break. And when we get back, we'll get into our round 2 matchup. Stick around. This is 1Tap episode 2.